All right. Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. I can't believe we're already to Wednesday. I am so excited to be here with the one and only Mickey Smith Jr. And I am so thrilled that it is finally announced that you are our featured speaker. So hopefully we've got people kind of joining us from all over today. Hopefully you're all enjoying your week. It is it's 6 o'clock Central Time, but 7 o'clock Eastern Time. And we're going to kind of talk about Mickey and all the things that we look forward to seeing at the conference. So go ahead and drop in the comments, what are you most looking forward to at the end of the week? And tell us where you're from. And we'll be right back in about 30 seconds. Hello, hello. I'm Katie Miglin, and I am here with the one and only Mickey Smith Jr., and we are celebrating Mickey being our last announcement, our last featured speaker. Mickey is officially joining us for the conference. Hi, Mickey. How are you?
I am great. Thanks for having me. I'm excited about this conference. I'm gonna tell you one thing though. Like after hearing, I'm still vibing off of that intro song. Wouldn't our life be better if, like, when you woke up in the morning, like they were straight up like a little theme song, like it just gets you going. So I'm if I wasn't excited before, and I was, I'm definitely excited now.
Oh, good, good. I did see you kind of dancing back there. I was feeling that energy. I feel like we need that energy at this time of day, halfway through the week. Now you, right before we got on, you told us that you've had a very interesting day. Do you wanna share a little bit about your
Oh
day
yeah,
today?
yeah. For those that don't know, I'm a music educator. I've been teaching for about 20 years now, and the majority of that time has been spent high school, middle school. But I've had a new amazing chapter open up my life. Recently moved the family from Louisiana to South Florida, working at a small private school where I now teach. Today I taught first grade, y'all. I taught first grade. Look, your life hasn't been fully lived if you hadn't experienced a little bit of the first grade wonder. So if anybody asks me how my day is going, I simply say amazing, because first grade's got a way of looking at your lesson plans and just laughing at them sometimes. So you got to learn to be flexible and flow a little bit.
Well, that's amazing. So, Mickey, you said a little bit kind of about yourself and about, kind of your background. But if, you've been in our Speakers Network, you've been on the 12 hour. I know we've connected with you a few different ways and a few different times. But when someone gets on to register for the conference, which is at teachbetterconference.com, they get on there and they're looking through the lineup and they're like, Mickey Smith Jr., I've heard that name a few times. What do you want them to kind of know about you? What do you want them to be excited about when they get to see you at the conference? Because I know I'm super excited, but what do you want people to be excited about?
Thank you. I want people to be excited about the fact that, we're in this thing together. For anybody that knows me, obviously, I've had opportunities to travel and to speak, but I'm still a full-time educator. So I'm 100% still in the game. I'm in
Mhm.
the trenches with folks. I know the struggles that we're having. I know the joy that comes from being a teacher, and most importantly, I know my calling and my purpose. And I always like to say, my heart is teaching, but my passion is helping people rediscover theirs. And I think if we can have passionate educators, folks that have
Mhm.
the purpose and have the passion, then that's going to help you propel, yourself and persevere and make it, and ultimately keep on going, which at the end of the day, I salute all educators out there today that are teaching in these unprecedented times, because now more than ever, our kids need us. I really believe that every child is still one sound adult away from discovering their sound of success. So if you come to this conference, and you will, when you come to this conference, not only you're going to get the message, but you're also going to get it with the music too. So anytime I do a keynote or anytime I do a presentation, I love to create music in the moment. I
Mhm.
love to share almost these anthems and these fight songs that you can then take with you, that stay with you throughout the year. And I can't tell you how many responses, emails, inboxes I've got from folks that have said, "Oh my goodness, Mickey, I enjoyed the message, but the message continues. It just keeps going
Mhm.
with your music." So come on out, come be a part of it, come be encouraged, come be
Mhm.
educated, come be elevated to excellence. That's what you can expect with a little time with myself, Mickey Smith Jr., and the incredible Teach Better team.
Wow, honestly, I sometimes don't like doing these featured speaker kickoffs because I'm like, "Can we just do the conference, like, next week?" I'm so pumped. But I think you're so right. It's that passion and excitement, and every time I've had the opportunity to be on with you, I just walk away feeling so, like, excited about education, right? And just passionate, and I think you're so right, and that we need that. We need that now. And what better week? It's Teacher Appreciation Week. So
Yeah.
I appreciate you, Mickey, for all you're doing for students and other educators. Fantastic. We've got some friends in the comments. We've got Ray. Hey,
Hey,
Ray.
Ray.
And Bree. And a special shout out. Ray wants to say thanks to Alex
Man,
for
Alex,
kind of connecting us with you. And yeah, I had the opportunity to meet Alex this week or last week, and I had no idea that that was our connection. And he's
Yeah.
fantastic, and it was so fun to kind of just brag on you and talk about how awesome you were. So that was super fun. But now I guess, okay, so you told us what we can look forward to having you at the conference as one of our keynotes. But what are you excited to be a part of the conference? Because you're coming for
Yeah.
the several days. We're going to be
Yeah.
able to interact with you. So, like, you think you're coming to the conference. What are you excited to get out of it?
I really do feel like every time you pour your cup empty, it comes back full. I may be a presenter, I may be performing, so to speak,
Mhm.
in a multitude of ways. But at the end of the day, every time that I go into one of these things, I leave a little bit better. So from a selfish standpoint, I'm just like anybody else. I'm coming to get rejuvenated. I'm coming to get developed both personally and professionally. And I think that just like a good music ensemble, nobody can do this thing alone. We're better together when we band together. So for me, I'm embracing that opportunity to literally just embrace folks,
Mhm.
and to lock arms, so to speak, as we
Mhm.
continue to keep going in this arduous journey, but a hero's journey nonetheless, called teaching. And I'm gonna be honest, I've had a couple opportunities to come up to Ohio, and I've enjoyed every time I've come up there. And I'm looking forward to coming back up and reconnecting with some folks that have said that they are going to be attending as well. And most notably, I'm gonna be honest, it's so amazing that these relationships that many of us that have been developed in a very natural way, but
Mhm.
unconventional.
Yeah.
For example, like Ray, I feel like she's my sister now. I feel like I've just we besties, but to be perfectly honest, we've never met in person. It's all been virtual because our
Mhm.
relationship, so to speak, started via the Zooms and all the other virtual meetings due to COVID. So I'm excited about getting to just really meet people for the first time, so to speak.
It's so funny that you say that because, we were last week, a few of us were at the bar conference and got to connect with people in person. And we had the same conversation.
Yeah.
We said, for a few years now, this is all we've known is just virtual world. And it's just, it is great because like you said, you and Ray, are close now, and it's so cool to see how relationships can develop virtually. Because I think honestly, like 4 years ago, if you would have told me that, I would have been like, not a
Yeah.
thing, that's not happening. But now it's like just our norm. But it is when you're with someone, you can literally talk and just be in each other's
Mhm.
presence. And there is something to still be said about that.
Yeah.
Just even like group meetings or, we've all sat through Zoom meetings now, and there's not the banter, there's not the joking and, just like the personal element. So I totally agree. Just even being by people that we only know in the virtual world, even though we know them fairly well, is going to be super fun. And so, if you're at all considering registering, for those of you who maybe haven't had a chance to, maybe you're still working on getting your district to approve you going, whatever the case may be, we really want to encourage you. We've got networking events where you can just be with people and have conversations that are raw and totally natural. And then obviously all day Friday, all day Saturday, we've got awesome speakers such as Mickey Smith Jr. and tons more in our lineup. But you can check all that out at teachbetterconference.com to see kind of really all the things that are going to be going on that weekend. And I think you'll decide it's totally worth your time
Absolutely.
registering.
And I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna be premiering some new music too. So we may or may not have a an after party, so to speak. I'm just saying. I may look. Maybe I'm saying too much, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it anyway. So if you come out, and you will definitely be you'll definitely be benefited in a lot of different ways too. It's not just about the PowerPoints. It's not just about the keynote and the speeches. Like you said, it's that personal connection. And
Mhm.
honestly, that's the greatest gift is our presence, right?
Mhm.
Being present in the moment. And we've got some amazing things planned for you that will really just leave you nourished at the end of the
Mhm.
day. That's how I see this conference being. It's a nourishment. And I think it's so important that as we continue down that journey, that we have everything we need to be everything we need to be. And that's what your team is so great at putting together. I've followed for a number of years now, and I've been a part of the team for the better part of this past year, and
Yeah.
just the value that you've been able to give virtually. I can't even really like my wife says, wrap my mind around what the value add is going to be in the in person. I mean, it's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be phenomenal.
I think you're so right. The relationships that have been established virtually, that's just gonna, when we're in person. So now, Mickey, you have always, as long as I've been connected with you, and I'm sure for forever, you've been music. That's been kind of
Yeah.
your drive and your passion. Can you tell us, and maybe this is a little spoiler for the future, but can you tell us where did that come from, and when did you really have that music passion, and then when did it turn into like the teaching passion too?
Man, that's a good question. As far as where it came from, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was the first in my family um, to actively go out and develop this thing called music. I found
Okay.
out years later that I have a distant relative, so to speak, that
Mhm.
had some musical gifting that I found out after the fact. But
Okay.
growing up, I just never saw anybody doing it. Even in my
Mhm.
neighborhood, I didn't
Mhm.
see anybody doing this. And so I did it. I did it. Honestly, I only got into music because my best friend joined in the band in sixth grade. He quit the next year. I kept on going.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be honest. What really got me into it? One day I was in the middle of finite math
Okay.
in college, and I was the first in my family to go to college. So it was just these man, it's just these new pathways, these new chapters, and
Yeah.
being a trailblazer sounds fun until you're the only person out there that's doing it. You have nobody to really lean on. And I was making a lot of these decisions, and I was trying to figure out what I should major in, and I
Mhm.
ultimately decided to go into general business administration, and I
Okay.
was doing pretty good. But I'll never forget, I was sitting in finite math, and it hit me, Katie, I don't even like math. Like it just it hit me. Like that sounds so simple, but we laugh, but how many people are in a job now where their heart's not in it and
Mm-mm.
never has been, right?
Right.
And I'm so glad that I had that epiphany in the middle of finite math. I was sitting there going, do I really want to do annuities and interest rates and compound interest, and do I really want to do all these mathematical equations the rest of my life when it doesn't really feed me or fuel me? And then I started
Right.
thinking, and now keep in mind, bless her heart, the poor little teacher, she was just teaching her heart out, and I'm low key just daydreaming in the middle of class. And I thought to myself, I said, well, what do I enjoy? And then it hit me. I'm a general business administration major, but I'm in like 4 or 5 ensembles at the college, right? I'm taking private lessons. I'm taking piano lessons,
Mhm.
right? I've got like a 24-hour course load. I got the max number of hours you can take, but half of them are pretty much music. And it got me to thinking, even at church I was going to, I was developing a music program for the youth. And I started thinking, man, over the summers I serve as a counselor for these foreign exchange programs working with
Mhm.
teens. And I was like, I like music and I like working with kids and helping them develop. And I thought to myself, dummy, because I talk to myself like that, dummy.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're a you're a music teacher. And I got up in the middle of finite math as that woman was teaching. I feel so terrible now telling this story. This is the worst. It's the worst student ever. I got up in the middle of class. I walked out. I found my advisor. I changed my major to music education. And coincidentally, I've never taught a day in my life since where I felt like it was work. I've
That's
never
awesome.
truly worked. So that's where it came from. And I continue to play. But at the same time, as much as I perform, you'll see those that come. It's a little bit more than just a song. It's an investment into the lives, into the hearts of people, and reaching their minds and touching their hearts through that beautiful platform called music. So
Yeah.
I'm just really excited about it. I can't say it enough. I'm honored to be able to be the keynote address speaker for this incredible conference. And I'm just happy to be part of the team and be able to share this time with you and everybody that's following. So if you hadn't already, you need to go register, because you know how it is when you set up the event and people don't RSVP. That makes us all a little nervous. It makes it. So go ahead, take the stress levels down and go ahead and get in there and get plugged in, because I promise you, this one's going to go fast. And you know how it goes.
Yeah.
Back to school, people are going to be scrambling, they're going to be trying to find those opportunities. And this is one. Look, opportunity knocks, but that bad boy ain't obligated to come back again, right? So
Right.
so if the opportunity knocks, and it is right now, I would challenge you to open up the door today and go ahead and just get plugged in. It's going to be great. I mean, it's Teach
Yeah.
Better. When has it not been great? Let's just weigh it. Look at the
Right.
stats, guys. Look at the
That's
stats.
right.
And then if you follow me at all, you know that we're going to bring an amazing experience, and not just an performance, but an experience. I always like to tell people I don't teach a class. I have a classroom experience, and that's what this is going to be. Why? Because an experience is something that stays with you for a lifetime. And I promise you, not to overstate, I'm just telling you what it's going to be. Your man is on fire. I'm excited, and I'm telling you, we're gonna bring a little bit of that Louisiana flavor up north. Look, we know about the food. We know about the music. So it's gonna be
Mhm.
spicy, y'all. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be tasty. It's gonna leave you nourished. And at the end of the day, not only are you gonna be full, but you're gonna be empowered to be everything that you need to be, so that you too can teach better.
Oh my I mean,
Let's go.
are you filming commercials? Are they paying you to start doing commercials? Because if not, Ray, I think we've got
I,
something in the works
I
here.
just believe it. I feel it, and I know it. I know it. This is gonna be amazing.
I mean, yes, for all the things, but even it really, you could get involved in more than just attending, right? We still have Podcast Row is open. People can still be sponsors. There's so many ways that we can get plugged in. Ray is dropping in the comments, you're hired. I think honestly, Nikki, I think if Ray reaches out to you, I think it's because you're going to be filming commercials, because I was excited and I'm helping plan it, but I'm even more excited. And I just feel like really people need to be registering now. So like we said, you can go to teachbetterconference.com, learn more about Mickey. Mickey, thank you so much for sharing kind of your background. I think it's always so fascinating when, there's like, I was a traditional 5 years old. I declared I was going to be a teacher. That's
Okay.
what I wanted my whole life. But, it's always fun when you have those like epiphany moments and they're, maybe a little bit older and it's after you've kind of experienced things. I just think it's awesome that you were sitting in a math class like, this is not what I want to do,
Yeah.
because that's so cool. And it's almost comical that you had so many music courses in
Yeah,
your,
and it's so funny. We're so busy looking, sometimes we don't see. You know
uh-huh.
what I mean? Like you're looking at this thing, you don't see it. And
Mhm.
look, for those out there, because I know there may be somebody going, "Yeah, look at him. He's got that hat. He's got the glasses. He's just a swell guy. He's probably never had a bad day in his life." Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I don't want to give too much away, but I literally, less than maybe a little over 5 years ago, 7 years ago, I resigned. I sat down. I wrote
Okay.
down my letter of resignation because of many of the same challenges that so many of us face. And this was before COVID, right?
Mhm.
And so when I talk to folks, I need you to understand, you're talking to somebody who just didn't, it wasn't always sunny. The rainbows weren't always out. The unicorns weren't running in the background. we've had some serious situations. I've literally been in situations where I felt and I knew my life was in danger as a teacher. I've been in situations where I couldn't make ends meet. I've been in situations where I didn't feel the respect and the love, and you pour all this time and energy into this noble profession, but you're not feeling real noble.
Mhm.
You don't see yourself as
Right.
nobility, and it can begin to weigh down on you. So then
Mhm.
the question is, how do you persevere? How do you
Yeah.
continue to go from potential to promise? How do you keep on going? Those are the things that we're going to share. And yes, I got a little song that goes with it, but it's more than a song. It's a testimonial that speaks, because it's me, and I was actually tested. I was actually tested.
Mhm.
And I think that when we go through things not only to be better, but to be better for others too. I believe we're
Mhm.
blessed to be a blessing. So I don't profess to know it all, but what I do know, I share. And I believe in this season, it's my responsibility to share and to serve. And that's my role on that platform. So when you come out there, you're gonna get the good news, but you're also gonna get the tools you can use as
That's
well
awesome.
to make that next day the best day in your classroom.
Well, I think like what you said, so much of Teach Better is, can we do something immediately? We've all been to conferences where we feel great, but our to-do list is 20 pages
Mhm.
long and we're overwhelmed, and it's like, where do I begin? And I love that you not only are relatable, you are not someone, like you said, like you don't have just unicorns and rainbows just,
Yeah.
in your backyard. You are living and breathing what it's like to be a teacher, and I think that's awesome. And then, like you said, being able to have tools. How can we build our tool belt, which is a phrase we use all the time here at Teach Better. So I'm literally like so excited to just see you, meet you in person, but just kind of get that passion and, like you said, fill that cup. I think there's going to be a lot of overflowing cups after that weekend, and I'm really excited about the music. That's like a whole nother piece that we can't, I mean, yeah. So, but yeah, like we said, go to teachbetter.com, teachbetterconference.com. You can find all the information from all the speakers, because now they're all officially live, which is crazy because it feels like forever ago that
Yeah.
you and I had a conversation about you coming to the conference. So it's crazy that we're here finally making it public, which is so cool. But you can also sign up to be a podcaster, a sponsor, all the things. All those things are still open, and we're super, super excited to see all the people that will be coming out to Ohio, where we can finally see people in person. So, Mickey, I love your energy and I want to keep it going. So, what is something it's like a positive message? It's the first week of May. Many of us are in the home stretch. What's something you can tell people who are like dragging on this Wednesday? What's like a little, whew, let's get through the week.
Hey, it's all about perspective. It's
Okay.
all about perspective. So watch this. I've never missed a step when I could see. The only steps I miss is when I can't see. And usually it's the middle of the night when I'm going to the kitchen, or I step on a Lego for my kids or something. Yeah, you can't see that stuff, right? But when things are illuminated, the journey is made easy. And I think a lot of times what happened is, for me, I used to run track, and I'll never forget, I had this one race where my hamstrings
Mhm.
tightened up on me, like they both of them pulled up on me. And the pain was so much, I literally had to close my eyes. Had to close my eyes. I ended up winning the race, but I never forget that moment, because it taught me something so powerful. In that instance, closing my eyes was necessary, because when I closed my eyes, it brought a greater focus, right? But sometimes in life, we need to open up our eyes. So I would challenge you right now to think, what's my perspective right now? How am I truly seeing things? My grandmother used to say to me all the time, "You're going to hear me now, but you're going to listen to me later." Right? There were some things that she told me in a season that was more like a seed. And then after you grow up and maybe relationship and maybe raising kids, your perspective changes, and those life lessons from that little old lady born in 1910 who only had a third grade education but had phenomenal wisdom, it resonates, it echoes, and it's like, oh, I get you now, grandma. You're gonna hear me now, but you're gonna listen to me later. I want to share that with you today, because sometimes you can be looking and not seeing. So I would challenge you to do a perspective check, because if you look at that thing that you think is a problem, you'll actually see it's an opportunity. And I say that because every opportunity is thusly just another opportunity for another opportunity for another opportunity. And when you see life like that, now you see with purpose perspective, right? You understand that this is something bigger than myself. And all of a sudden, that thing called Wednesday becomes Wednesday, WINS, because
Mhm.
now you're seeing that everything that happened today was for my betterment. It was for my benefit. But that perspective only happens when you understand that you're called for this. This is not happenstance. It's the habit stacks. It's the small things done well stacked on top of each other over time. So I challenge you today to look at it again for the first time. Go back and look at it. And if you don't believe me, think back in your life on how many things you thought was something, but life later taught you it was something totally different. So look back at it again for the first time and ask yourself again, is there some good that can come from this? And the answer is always yes.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that was good. I feel like you've left me speechless now. Wow, I really like that. I like, especially going into some of us, it's our last month. Some of us have a couple months, but just kind of at this end of the year, I think it's good to kind of reevaluate our perspective.
How
And
do I know? Because I've had a lot of opportunities in the last few days. So don't get it twisted. I'm telling you, I'm practicing what I preach, and I'm telling you, it works, but it only works when we work. So again, I challenge you today. Look at
okay.
it again with a fresh set of eyes.
Okay. Well, Mickey, this has been super uplifting. Selfishly, I'm so glad that I was able to be on here with you because this is the fuel I needed for sure. But it also just it gets me excited, gets me looking forward to October. Don't forget teachbetterconference.com. You can find all the information, including registering. Mickey, thank you so much for not only being a part of our community, but joining me tonight and being a keynote for our Teach Better 22 conference. It's been fun, and I cannot wait to keep the conversations going in October. So thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. Thanks for dropping
Happy
by.
Teacher Appreciation Week. If you
Yes.
appreciate somebody, tell them about the conference. That's the
That's
best
right.
teacher appreciation gift out there. Go appreciate them.
I love that. Yes, absolutely. Teacher Appreciation Week. Tell them that they can grow and get their cups filled in October for sure. So thank you so much, Mickey. And yeah, until next time. See you later.
All going.
So right now, I want to know if you're ready to teach better.
That's the whole mission of this weekend.
Just being here ready